Welcome, dear Sangha, to our Thursday evening, May 20th, our question and discussion with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin on the Path to Awakening series. We will begin this evening in our yellow Garchen Institute prayer book with opening prayers on page 4 and page 5. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Hello, Tahitele, the Dharma friends. Nice to see you all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah, nice, very nice. Okay. How is going your Sagadawa? Sometimes in Sagadawa and some special virtuous day or month, it seems many afflictive emotion arise. For example, full moon day and Amitabha day and Guru Rinpoche and Medicine Buddha days. Sometimes it happened. I have ever happened that. And then it's good. Oh, today is full moon day. And then try to a little bit calm down. And so this Sagadawa days, this year Sagadawa is very special. There's a many special virtuous days are gathering in this Sagadawa. Okay. Now I will listen to your. Oh, I already asked, right? How is going your Sagadawa? Yes. Who is first? Yes.
Okay, I am.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes, Jay.
So it is going so there doesn't feel to be any difference between this month and another month. But I do think that I did recognize that there are seeds that are sprouting. And this is real hard to describe, but they kind of like pop. So I just get a glimpse of the seed that's sprouting, and so that's how mine's going, is just getting a glimpse of, and then it fades. It's almost, so I was describing it to an individual today, and I said it's almost like a seed's in the ground, and it's either putting down a root or putting up a shoot, and I get to see it for just an instant and know that it's there and that it's sprouting. And then whatever it was, whatever was recognized is no longer consciously available. So that's how mine's going.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this I said that this Sagadaba is special day because yesterday is Buddha's birthday, and today is Medicine Buddha's day. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, is Guru Rinpoche's day, and then 15th is Shakyamuni Buddha's day, and 30th is Amitabha's day, and also this full moon day has the moon, what is called eclipse, and then in 30th the sun has eclipse, sun eclipse, solar eclipse. Oh yeah. So yes.
Okay, so I'm going to tell a funny story though. So I went on Buddha's birthday. I went with some people who are Pure Land practitioners.
Wow.
And we went to a Vietnamese temple, and they bathed Buddha on Buddha's birthday. They bathed Buddha.
Wow.
And so I told my mom that I was going. My mom asked me where I was going that day, and I said I'm going to go bathe Buddha. And my mom had this really weird expression on her face, and she goes, "Isn't Buddha dead?"
Wow. Very nice. Actually, the yes, we remember like Buddha's birthday and Buddha's parinirvana, and so even though whoever remember Buddha in any kind of situations, I think it has a great bliss. So thank you very much for sharing your story and answered wonderfully. Thank you, Jay and Lydia. Yes.
Hello, Khenpo Tenzin. Thank you for your auspicious teaching and auspicious questions and answers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So welcome.
Well, I've been doing a lot of purification because I feel I need to for my future life. And I guess feeling very tired for doing prostration. And I've been experiencing some differences on my meditation that actually I wanted to ask you because this is new for me. But maybe later. So that's my saga. This is my first Sagadawa, as everybody know. And I feel good.
Oh, wonderful.
With purification myself and reciting the Prajna Paramita Sutra. And yeah, reciting the Kid Aspiration Prayer. of course, for the benefit of the all sentient beings, for the people who die. I hope everybody find enlightenment and be liberated from samsara suffering. And yeah, pretty much that. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. Yes, actually, when we practice, we are going to continuously practice. But of course, we are still in the samsara, so that's why sometimes we remember this like a Sagadawa, and then there are different months which are special months for practicing Dharma and purify the non-virtues. Actually, purify non-virtues means remove obstacles. So then it makes benefit to ourselves, and it makes benefit to others. Also, the Sagadawa and there are some special months. They at that time our virtues multiply. So that's where it's a very great months for practicing Dharma, and it's very good to know. And thank you very much. Wonderfully answered. And next, who would like to answer? Hello. Yes, Golly. Yes.
I've been really enjoying Sagadawa this year. I stopped eating meat, which makes me really happy because I wanted to do that for a long time, but I couldn't figure out a way. So I found a way. Yeah, and the past few days I've been having more sort of intense afflictions. Sort of unusual. I think I changed something else that maybe it's related to that, but maybe it's just Sagadawa.
Yes.
But yeah, so I guess that's all.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's sometimes like a Sagadawa and some special day. It seems we have some strong emotion arise in the mind, but it means at that day has how to say energy. That day is Dharma energetic day, so that's why it makes something. But it's very good because it helps to recognize our afflictive emotions, or yes, and then also it gives us opportunity to purify, and so it's very good. And I deeply rejoice all of you, and the as Goli says that the stop to eat meat. Yes, the as much as possible we try to less to eat meat. It's really important because it's a benefit lots of mother sentient beings, and whether oneself have to eat meat for the sake of body and health, but still someone who are vegetarian, we rejoice them. So in the Sukhavati Pure Land, Sukhavati or Pure Land prayer says, if you rejoice others' virtues, and then these merit receive you equally. That means other people cultivate virtues, and then you rejoice, but then you receive merit same as other people, practitioners merit. So this is very important, and we all know that, and we will do it. So then Buddha's stage is not so far from us. Actually, Buddha's stage is very close. Lower realms are a little far, but we sometimes we create lots of non-virtues. That's where then the power of non-virtues. That's where then we are means many mother sentient beings often rebirth in the lower realms. Otherwise, Buddha's stage is very close. So we all need confidence. Oh, in this body, in this life, I must become Buddha. Really, we have that vow, or that we need this confidence. I think this is very important. Okay, thank you very much, Goli. Eleanor?
I'm sorry, I didn't have my hand raised for this. I'm sorry.
No,
I have several questions on your last teaching, but I don't have anything on Sakadawa.
Oh, it's same. I just asked. Don't worry. Any questions? So welcome.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Can you? I don't have really any idea what luminosity means within this context. So I was wondering if you could say a few words on what it is, so I have some sort of working understanding on how to approach it.
Right.
That's one question. And the other one, you talked about different levels or stages of emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you could say a few words about that, because that was like a whole new concept. I was sort of dealing with emptiness sort of like potential. You know what I mean? It's not empty, it's has potential, like the Dharmakaya. Right now, my understanding is it's full of potential. It's not anything that you can define, because it's like compassion. The minute that you define it over here, it can't be expressed infinitely over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I see that as potential. And my third question is, I just don't know what the procedure is. I mean, would it be okay to write you, at the Institute if I had any philosophical or Buddhist type questions? Is that appropriate? I just don't know what the procedures are here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's very good questions. Thank you so much. Luminosity is it's actually luminosity is not easy to recognize. especially intellectually, it cannot recognize it.
Is it like an aura? Is like when you see people's auras, is that what they mean by luminosity?
The aura means the kind of you realize other people's mind, right?
Well, no, like you see them and they're surrounded with gold.
Oh, I
you
see.
See them like whitish, or it's like energy of some sort that I don't understand yet. I can see it, but I don't know what it is. So is that luminosity or?
Luminosity is actually part of Rigpa. Rigpa is awareness, right? Awareness. So this luminosity is has two, mother and child. So we teach through these two ways, mother and child. When we introduce, particularly when we introduce luminosity through the by the way of instructions, so actually it comes next teaching. It a little bit comes up about this, and luminosity means our Buddha nature is inherently awareness, like clarity. Not like, this is clarity. Then whenever it projects towards other object, it knows each and every single things very subtle, and which means, for example, if I look at the one object, and then, for example, when I look at my book, I pay attention. Whether I don't pay attention, still it has ability to know. But by the way of introduce, now I make this example. If I pay attention this book, I know this is example, otherwise I can't. So I know these books who made, what are inside, and each and every sentence tells us what part of meditation, and then what is the cause, and then what is the result, and then these if we practice this, recite that, then this result, when we receive this result, and that result, how much benefit to others, how much benefit to listeners, how much benefit these writers, how much benefit has these whoever just hold on their head, respectfully, something like that. Luminosity means a very clear awareness. But this part of luminosity is increase through our Dharma activities. During the meditation, if we meditate, not meditate on luminosity, but still we meditate shamatha, or we meditate other visualizations, they support to increase kind of this luminosity. And this is we call the luminosity of child. But luminosity of mother is our intrinsic awareness. Intrinsic awareness is inherently, it never ever mixed ignorance, egoistic mind, afflictive emotions, and cognitive obscurations. So this is totally different from them, because these inherently, this intrinsic awareness is blissful or bliss, and joy, and of course this is clarity or lucidity, and this is what is called this non elaborated, or this is simplicity, unelaborated, or it's simplicity. So inherently, this is the nature. We call, so this is Dharmakaya. Anyhow, this is Dharmakaya. So that is, we call it mother luminosity. Then we have this mother luminosity in our mind. Actually, it is beyond of inside and outside, beyond of colors and forms, but in the relative truth we introduce at that time, we have to introduce through this way. That's where this mother luminosity is in our mind. In our mind means this is the natural mind. And then we meditate, practice at that time this one luminosity increase, and then one time our practice progressed, and then mother and this mother luminosity and child luminosity, they become non-duality, like a water pouring into the water, or butter put into the butter. So then they are become non-duality. It become inseparable. At that time we become Buddha. We completely become Dharmakaya. So these parts are, at least we have the mother luminosity we already have. But then this, I just made it, okay, this vocabulary, I don't know how much to say about this. Anyhow, child luminosity, we have to progress that. So this is I think we meditate, not, of course we can do retreat, that is wonderful, but if we don't have time to do retreat particularly, but we follow our mindfulness, and each day we try to meditate, and then slowly we have a little special experience, special experience will grow, will arise in our mind. These experiences sometimes the clarity, sometimes emptiness, sometimes bliss, kind of these experience increase slowly in our mind. And then we continuously practice, then one day we will able to experience this luminosity. At that time we see, how to say, we reached on the pretty higher stage, or we recognize a higher view. Actually, this part, next our teaching series, I will a little bit tell about that. At that time, hopefully make clear more than now, but kind of this. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That helps. So this is like the mind learning how to know itself.
Yes, these are learning with it's sometimes only we learn, especially thinking through for only intellectually. This is a wonderful actually, but then the intellectual thinking has limit. It's reached somewhere, and then it cannot go further than there. And then we noticed, oh no, it is ready to time to meditate. I mean practice, and then practice, then slowly, still there's opened another doors. So it's depending. The first the learning or study or listening, this part are extremely important. It help a lot in many ways. Of course, for oneself. Then when we benefit, actually learning means we have to learn for benefit others, right? Because we have to practice bodhicitta. That's where we are a practitioner of bodhicitta, so we are going to benefit others. So, but anyhow, this is the best way is we go to together the learning and also meditate together, and then we'll be experience about that. And then next is you said this degree of emptiness, right?
Yeah, the layers of emptiness.
Yes, layers of emptiness. The emptiness is usually in the Dharma philosophy schools. It says emptiness is pretty easy to realize, but then how to realize emptiness? There are different layers. So first we have to suddenly, if I introduce, oh, this book is emptiness, I think this is pretty hard to realize. If I say this book is emptiness, then oh yes, this is emptiness. It's quite hard to realize like this way. But interdependence, we introduce through interdependence. This is from many since Buddha, and then next all the Mahasiddhas and Nalinda masters. They are, in other hand, they are like a scientist, which means they really investigate a lot. They are like a professor. They particularly investigate how we can realize emptiness. Only they focus on emptiness, and then they found the best thing is interdependence. So that's where we have to realize interdependence. Interdependence is, for example, if I have to realize this body is emptiness, if someone say your body is emptiness, it's really hard. I have ever did when I studied in the Dharma Dharma center, or in Tibet and monasteries. And sometimes emptiness, and then just the mind just thought that emptiness, and then my finger just point, but it's very solid, solid, right? Solid. So then I decided from my mind, this book is emptiness. But then I just touched point, right? Touch this book. It's very normal. So that is so this way we cannot realize the emptiness. But then how to realize is we investigate, we separate from the I said my head and my torso and my branch separate. I separate from my mind. Not physically separate. My mind separate them. And mind separate them, and then I separate my torso and my head, and my branch of this hand and legs, and then I start to investigate where is I, or where's my body, or and then start again. Is it in my head or on my head, or is my head? And then I investigate. Then again I separate my ears, nose, eyes, lips, chin, everything I separate, and then cannot get. Then of course I cannot find my body there. I cannot find I there. Even I cannot find my head. Right? And then ears, I just think maybe on the ear. Then I investigate my one right ear. Where is my head? Of course, I cannot find my body. So then I start to, when I investigate my body, I lost my head. But then I start to investigate, where's my head? I start to search, where's my head with my ear. And then I lost my ear. There's no ear. And then slowly do like that. Oh, delusion. Until now, I follow delusion and decisively realize that, decisively realize that. And then mind is spontaneously at ease. The result of that's where some of these practitioners said when they are walking on the ground, still they have really feeling is just walking on the space. They felt like that. They told us. So then big different than before when I do like touch my book by my hand, or just hands are keep in my lap or on my lap, and then just mind investigate, research. Then we found emptiness through this way. We will be able to find emptiness there. But then your question, how comes these layers, There are many layers. If you only found, first you found nothing part, nothing. But if you don't have a guru, at that time, sometimes it's very possible a little bit self-pride increase, or I realize emptiness, or different feelings, perceptions, possible to arise. But that's where guru is how important we noticed at that time. Then we ask guru, my experience is that this, then what I should do, and what is my next step, and so on. Then guru introduce, you do this, that, this. So then through your experientially increase your realizations, So that's why then how these layers is, these are the first you can realize the kind of emptiness, those the gross things, you can realize emptiness pretty easily. And then next you come on the subtle things, very, very subtle things. You realize they are also emptiness, but still you have the fixation in your mind. And sometimes you have good, sometimes this experience of bliss arise, you have fixate that you like to remain there a little bit, or have little attached on there, so on. That's where step by step you purify these obscurations, and then slowly you when you reach on the next, third, fourth, fifth steps, then your realization is increase, and also you sometimes you don't particularly need to investigate. It's spontaneously you realize emptiness. When you focus on the object, spontaneously you will be able to realize emptiness. Kind of this. So through this with realizations, by the way of realizations, then they have different degrees or different layers.
See, okay, that makes sense. I
Thank
see
you.
what you're saying. Yeah, that eye exercise is I read somewhere, I came across the statement, I am a multitude of others. And I thought that was so perfect, because we make ourselves up from, there's awareness, but awareness has no spin on it. Awareness, I feel, is just awareness, and then the mind comes in and creates, from what you hear, from what you see, from what you feel, all the input, and it puts its spin on it and says, this is what that is. But that's pretending that whatever that awareness was is this, but you don't really know what that awareness is. If sometimes if I'm in a really deep meditative state, I can investigate something like that, but I'm not thinking. It's a different way to do it. It would be the only thing I could say, but okay, so they just keep getting deeper and deeper and more significant, I guess.
Right. Actually, there also, when we focus on there is in the Only Mind school, in the Madhyamaka school and Only Mind school, we call the highest. They are highest vehicles. So Only Mind school, there also have many branches, but among them the highest one, it also said that it explain more details about this. We have the mind. When we focus on the emptiness, when we investigate emptiness, there are logically investigation, that logic recognize emptiness, that logic could be recognize emptiness, but this logic mind is still delusion. So that's why we say that is not a perfect realization. So if we realize emptiness perfectly, we have to manifestly realize that. So this is through wisdom. Right now we have consciousness. This consciousness transformed into the wisdom, and then this wisdom realizes emptiness. That is perfect. But by the way of our practice, we must follow logic. Logic is very important. Logic is actually, we say, it's a philosophical system, right? That's correct. But it helps a lot the way of our practice. Logical, how to use logic. Logical is good or bad. It's many people say different things, but it's good or bad is depending personal practitioners how to use. Always investigate only material things, then sometimes we spend a lot of times for material things. I mean, this thing, this is a emptiness or not, that is emptiness or not like that, it means we first we realize. Someone said they don't have yet this translation, but I quite not sure. However, hopefully I make sense now. When we investigate one thing through our ordinary mind. That is we call logically investigate. It can realize emptiness, but this emptiness is not real emptiness anyhow. Then when your wisdom realizes the emptiness, that emptiness is a real emptiness, and this wisdom is perfect subject.
So you mean and I totally agree with this. It's the experience that teaches you what the wisdom is.
Wisdom also. Actually, wisdom is
It comes with experience.
Yeah, actually, this is arised from the experience. Experience is also yes. This is experience. Experience means still this is a quality, attributes of omniscience. Have you ever heard omniscience? You heard, right? Wisdom is attributes of omniscience. If omniscience is like the sun, wisdom is the sun's ray or sun's light. But omniscience itself wisdom. So anyhow, in brief, when we arise wisdom, as Milarepa said, no, I am not see my ordinary consciousness. I see wisdom. If we have that realization, and this realization project on the objects, everything is emptiness. So we have to purify, we have to accumulate merit, means that because this wisdom is already in our mind. But then we have to radiate it from our mind. That's where we have to purify obscurations. Okay, the next, what do you say? Can you repeat?
Oh, you mean the third question?
Yeah. Yes, third question.
Question was, I don't know how this works exactly. Would it be appropriate? Is it okay to write to you with any philosophical issues, or is that not okay? I just don't have any idea.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, so welcome. Any questions? The questions are, now I cannot say exactly, oh, we do this way, but I will let you know soon. Actually, perhaps there we have planned to teach some teachings or related on there, or sooner let you know.
Okay, but that would be okay if I wrote to you.
But your question is okay. You wrote questions, that is okay.
Okay, all right. I can't thank you enough. This has been so valuable for me, your course. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
It's stretched my mind. Stretched.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.
And my heart.
Thank you so much. Yes, we will. It's wonderful questions. Thank you.
Oh, there's one more session.
Yes, we have last session is fruition. Fruition. So we will discuss on fruition. It's June 1st.
That's my birthday.
Wow. I rejoice. Thank you so much. Okay, so first, Edzi. Oh, three of them. Who's first? Yes.
I can wait.
Yeah.
I just had a question.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of questions. Is omniscience related to luminosity? And is omniscience related to luminosity? And what about samadhi? Is that luminosity?
Yes, that's omniscience is actually the way of our explanation. We don't say that, oh, Buddha, he became enlightened, then he received luminosity. We did not say it. But what we say is, in the Vajrayana and the Sutara both, we said when Buddha became enlightened, he received two omniscience. But he received omniscience. It has two categories. But luminosity, samadhi, and they all attributes of omniscience. Luminosity and samadhi, they are attributes of omniscience. But right now, I cannot judge practitioners, but if I try to make sense, so I make an example. Now our practitioners, many practitioners, they could arise luminosity, they could arise samadhi, but they could not yet arise omniscience because they are not yet Buddha, completely Buddha. It's possible in the Manjushire Namasangiti, it says instantaneously you become Buddha, but it comes back. There are different ways, but anyhow, so omniscience is the highest wisdom, and it also has the luminosity and samadhi. But right now we meditate perfectly. If we have some realizations on the vipassana, and also we call in the shamatha some realizations we call the samadhi, but they are not yet omniscience. But then these samadhi and luminosity increase, then they become omniscience. Clear?
Very. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yes. Your name, I can't. Thomas?
Kate. Kate. My name is Kate.
Kate. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Khenpo
thank you.
Tenzin. So beautiful. My question is about Yidam deities. When I meditate all the time and all the time focus on hung syllable in the navel and white Tara at my heart, then I feel the crown chakra opening and white Tara. I can feel it go through above and many layers above. I'm trying to understand the concept of Yidam deities. How is that different from, I listen to all the talks and keeping in mind Yidam deities all the time. How is the word Yidam different than what I'm doing? I don't, it's not clear. I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't worry. So your question is why you have different yidams under your body?
I don't understand the definition of Yidam.
Oh,
What
I
is
see.
Yidam?
Yes, yidam means in literally, right? Yi means Tibetan called mind. Tam means the vow. So our practitioners are samaya. In Sanskrit is samaya. Tibetan called tamsik, or it is also same meaning. So we are samaya being, samaya being, and in the relative form, Yidam deities are wisdom beings. That means they are radiate from wisdom. We are means our mind radiate from samadhi, samaya. Because we keep the vows, or we promised, or we commitment, I am going to practice, and then we practice. That's where this practicing, this experience arise from our samaya, promise. And then these yidam deities appear from the wisdom. That's where they have a very special relation, like our face and mirror. If there's a mirror, then our face reflect there. Similarly, if we have this our experience arise from our samaya, and then wisdom being can reflect in this our experience, and then slowly we can mixed, and then slowly we can make non-duality. But then yidam deity means actually it's a radiate power of your samaya. So they are already radiate, but they radiate in your mind because of your samaya. That's where yidam deity means that. And yidam deities radiate or appear from your mind or in your mind through your practice. Your practices help. And then what is the benefit if yidam deities appear in your mind? Is they give you the siddhis, a benefit. What are these benefits? There are two categories, and the normal samadhi is, for example, practice Vaitara, it helps you long life, and practice some Vajrapani, for example, it helps you to remove obstacles, and practice Manjushire, it helps you to increase your wisdom, and something like that. And then some yidams helps you to you gain the wealth and well known, everything related there. And then higher samadhi is realization. This is you realize dharmakaya. Whenever you realize dharmakaya, then you realize the what is called you realize your mind is dharmakaya. So the final samadhi helps you to become dharmakaya. Clear?
Beautiful.
Thank you very
beautiful.
much.
I have one other question.
Oh yes.
In the same way, can you explain the definition of bhumis?
Mm-hmm. Yes, bhumi is we explain the best way to explain bhumis are through example. So example is like Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the foundation of everything. Right now I am sit here, you sit there because of Mother Earth. So we can establish a house, and then we can drink water, we can eat vegetables, everything are related to Mother Earth. Similarly, bhume means foundation of all the qualities, dharma qualities. And then this is the related to your realization. And then yes, you are going, this is also your path, this is your foundation path to go to the enlightenment, right? Nirvana. And so anyhow, this is the foundation of all your Dharma qualities.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Misha, and
Thank you, Khenpo.
Mm.
Let's see. Well, for Sagadawa, for me, I've been practicing daily vows, and I'm finding that very beneficial. And then each day after I make my vow from now until this time tomorrow, then I practice what you taught me about gathering the merit of my practice plus all the Buddhis and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and then dedicate the merit. And I'm finding it just very, it feels very sweet in my heart to do that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And then I do have a question. I'm having difficulty reconciling how to understand things like on the website, Karchen Rinpoche suggests that daily we recite like Shanti Deva's 4 lines. But then it's like, okay, well, if I accept impermanence and that there is aging and illness, disease, sickness, death, I don't understand how to reconcile those. It's in some ways it almost seems like asking for magic, and in a similar way, I've been considering for a while taking the Bodhisattva vow. And some of the statements I don't understand, and I don't feel comfortable speaking the words if I don't understand it. And that happens for me sometimes in White Tara practice, which I really love. But some of the things, it's like asking for this, asking for that. It seems like, how can I be asking for those if I don't know. I hope, do you understand what I'm asking at all?
Yes, first, the Shanti Devas, these and impermanence, how they related, right? Shanti Deva's prayer and these the basically everything is impermanent. So the realization of impermanent helps a lot. My voice is a little bit is very important. This is really important. If we are going to become authentic practitioners, really we need the realization of experience of impermanence. It's a benefit a lot. And but then bodhicitta way, as in the Shanti Devas, we only can think impermanence, and we have benefit through this way. I think it's all actually first step. We have to keep this way of practice, and because it helps us to reduce attachment, aversion, and so on, especially grasping and so on. But then bodhicitta way of practice, we say that because we cannot suddenly erase pure renunciation. If we arise the realization of renunciation today, it's well possible tomorrow not. If morning we arise, but the afternoon we're not sure. So whenever we arise bodhicitta, at that time we forget I. We forget I. This benefit is then it's less grasping. Let's forget I, and then it benefit us to less suffering, which is related ourselves, and then our actions change through the way of bodhicitta practice. Because when we arise bodhicitta from our mind, in our mind, then harmful action, harmful thinking, they don't have chance to arise in our mind. And then we are never engaged the harmful activities to others. So that's where directly or indirectly we can benefit to others. So if we are going to benefit to others, then bodhicitta is necessary. And if we have realization of impermanent, only we have realization of impermanence, it helps a lot to us. It can reduce our own sufferings. For example, if I lost my mobile phone, then I think, oh, it's impermanent. It is impermanent, so I don't worry that, and so something like that. So it help a lot. But if we really have to make benefit others, then bodhicitta is very important. So bodhicitta has different way of different methods. We practice bodhicitta through different methods, because our mind is not always same, so it lead through different methods, and it helps a lot. Are you clear?
I think maybe. So are you pointing to that maybe when I recite some of these lines, I'm not like literally asking like cure the diseases in my body, but maybe it's a way of practicing a form of bodhicitta, of a rising bodhicitta, a method of a rising bodhicitta, rather than asking, oh, just make me healthy, make me never die.
Oh, for oneself?
Yeah, like with the I don't have them in front of me, but the Shantideva's 4 lines, I thought it's like, to have everyone have no, cure all disease. I don't remember the lines.
Oh, in the blue book one. Oh, it's very good. Now you make more sense. These whenever we arise bodhicitta, and then for oneself, we do not need suffering anytime. We don't want to thirsty. We don't want to hungry, and we don't want to getting cold. We don't want to sick. So so then when bodhicitta arises in our mind, then we cannot see different I and others, I and you. What I need, definitely other people need it. So that's why we all running in the restaurant. It's voluntarily, right? We come to the restaurant. That means we all need food. And we all need water. We all need clothes. We all need a house, something like that. So then we make example oneself. Oh, I need that. That's why If I don't have that, I'm suffering. If I don't have this, I'm difficult. So that's where other people need it. So here it says, if I'm sick, I'm suffering. When it's dependent with the practitioners, when I am deluded. But if I'm not deluded, I realize the higher view. I recognize the non-duality or emptiness, and then actually I don't have suffering through the sickness and so on. But we can think, oh, before I recognize the emptiness, then at that time I was sick and I was suffering. So these people, they don't recognize the emptiness. They don't recognize non-duality. That's where they are. If they are sick, definitely they are suffering. That's where I wish may they liberate from this suffering. Liberate from this suffering means, anyhow, may they recognize the emptiness. If they recognize the emptiness, then the sufferings are emptiness. That's where then they were not suffering. They were not sick. They were not something like that. So that's where we pray that. Yes.
Okay. So perhaps I might realize some degree of emptiness, but that doesn't necessarily mean physical disease goes away, but suffering might reduce. Is that it? And I'm imagining part of that is that I can ask for even relief of physical disease, but with no attachment to outcome. So it would not mean that I'm saying I'm asking for this, so make it happen, because I don't know what someone's karma would be. Maybe the disease, physical disease, for example, would be part of how their path unfolds. Something like that. I don't have to understand everything today either.
This physical or mentally, it's actually same. The suffering is suffering is suffering. Physically suffering or mentally suffering is same. But we don't. Anyhow, ourselves, we don't need suffering. When we are suffering, we cannot be patient, right? So we are the suffering effect to our mind or our body. So, but then we wish those mother beings liberate from this suffering, because they are. If they are sick or they are suffering, then they cannot be tolerance on there, and they that's where. But we, the higher practitioners understood. Oh, they created this karma in previous life, and they created. That's where the results come now. But then it seems, oh, this is their karma, I don't care. This is a misunderstand. Oh, this is your karma, I don't care. Like this is misunderstand. Oh, this is your karma. Karma means cause and effect. That's where you created cause of this result. Because when you created this cause of the result of a cause, at that time you did not know this suffering happens now. That's where then I am more compassion towards you. More I feel bodhicitta. So something like that. If you are not clear, we come discuss more after are you clear a little bit?
Yeah, more clear. I'd like to understand more, but it'd be good to move on to another person. Thank you.
Thank you
Khenpo.
very much. We will come back, okay? Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Jay? Oh.
Okay, so Khenpo, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is how, I'm not sure exactly how to ask this, but it's how are pointing out instructions done by the Garshan Institute? Is that something that that somebody requests, or so there's a group that I can join in, but in order to do that, it's the Tagar, which is Minjur Rinpoche's group,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to have had pointing out instructions, and I don't know what that means. That's my first question. And then my second question is, I understand the emphasis on the head with the white light, and with the heart with the blue light, but I'm not sure why the throat is emphasized.
Mm-hmm.
It shows with the red light. That one doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand from the speech standpoint, but the other two have a scientific basis,
Mm-hmm.
and there's certain cells that are there, but I'm not aware why the Tibetans have then this emphasis on the throat area.
Yes. Yes. This actually we said that you know too. So on the crown, or actually the crown, and see here the forehead area, white om, and throat red ah, and heart blue hong. So that means the body, speech, and mind. Body, speech related, body, speech, and mind. But here, particularly, why we say body, for example, and then why there is a white color, for example. That means basically these are related when we said the channels, and especially wind, the 5 root wind and 10 branches of wind. So the wind have also colors in the relative truth. So some wind more support to our body, and they make support to the seed of our body, our form. So that's why in the relative truth we should understand through this way, because that's where we have white color, but we don't want to only follow the white color, but we have to meditate or visualize white om. Om is a syllable mantra. So the reason we say, if we have a single white om, but then this om comes from actually consonants, right? And so then consonants is related parents' energy, right? It's thickly or drops. So then through this relation, in the relative truth, we can explain through this relation. But then in the actually this is still relative truth, but the Buddha's forms are just like colors. Colors are we can appear in front of our eyes, but we cannot touch it physically. just colors or light, the light colors, something like that. So basically we say Om is means that, and then wet Om on the ground, that you already know, and then know that, and then throat we say red A, and this is also related about the how to say the we say related speech, but speech that if we say sweet words, people are immediately happy. So that means the speech has the power. This speech makes happy. Happy is also some part of bliss, actually, bliss. In the negative, in the afflictive emotion, then happy means is related attachment, attachment. So much, this is much related about the blood. Attachment is related to blood.
Oh, okay.
In relative truth. So form is related these actually the channels and parents' energy, right? And then Om is then blue Hong. Actually, blue is representative of colorless. Yeah, right now still we think this is a blue color, but the dark blue is the representative colorless. So our mind, the here mind is still beyond of a color. Mind is colorless and formless. So that's where blue hong is here. So there are many ways to relate. There are many relations, channels, drop and a mind, or then body, speech and mind, or then about kayas, nirmana kayas. Nirmana kayas we can see. So white color is a very, bright or very vivid, very easy to see. White color. White color is very, bright, right? Very easy. Yes. So nirmana kayas we can see right now. Many these gurus, they are nirmanakayas. They come the form of nirmanakaya, and then red color. This part is actually we have to experience. So Yidam deities, they are. We have to realize them through our experience. We cannot see directly our eyes until we arise our wisdom in our mind. When we arise wisdom in our mind, and then our eyes consciousness transform into wisdom, that's where through eyes we still can see Yidam deities. Otherwise we experience through this way. And then the mind is actually the dharmakaya. So dharmakaya is then non-duality. So this is formless, colorless, like that. And then second question, can you repeat? This is.
So it's how the pointing out instructions. Pointing out instructions to the nature of the mind. How is that done on an individual guru disciple basis, or has Garshan been doing that through his teachings, or?
I see. Yes. Yes. This is actually all meditations. For example, we meditate shamatha, and right after we have this pointing out. We meditate vipassana, right after we have pointing out, and we have visualized generation and completion stages. Anyhow, any practice we have the pointing out, but then how to do is it is depending your guru and you. Whenever you ask, you share your experience to the guru, and then you have some questions there, and you have some experience. You share these, then guru tells you. So this is how to do is something. Of course, is publicly allow. So we can share through publicly, right? Something also is depending with disciples. Someone need privacy, or they need individually need to ask. So here, I think right now, because of the pandemic issues, so it not open yet. So I think it's quite hard to ask Rinpoche directly, face to face. Otherwise, in the future, I think the disciples often did that. They ask to Rinpoche face to face, or there are many ways. For example, between to us, for example, then through text message or email, this is spontaneously become privacy. So through this way, I can ask that. And yes, it is depending disciples their questions. They something is they need privately ask about that. So anyhow, there are all the meditation and instructions made have pointing out. So this is yes. Are you clear?
I am, and now I have a hard question. This will be an easy one. They'll be easy. I mean, it's a hard question to ask, but so Khenpo, are you authorized then to give pointed out instructions?
Actually, I do as much as possible. Of course, if I can't instruct, then ask to Rinpoche, and so that's so gorgeous. And so yeah, I do as much as I can, or as much as possible.
Okay, good. So I'll be in touch then.
Oh, thank you very much. Very good questions. Okay. Yes. Yes, Lydia. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I want to correct myself.
Mm-hmm.
The sutra that I am reading is the Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, if anybody wants to read it. And I said it wrong. How do you name it in Tibetan?
Heart Sutra, wisdom.
The Heart Sutra, yes. The Wisdom Sutra. I think in Sanskrit it's Arya Bhagavati Prashna Paramita Hidraya Sutra.
Mm-hmm. Shirab Nimpo.
If anyone wants to read it. It talks about emptiness.
So
yes.
What is this name, right, in Tibetan?
In Tibetan, yes. What is the name?
Tibetan call it Shirab Nimpo. Shirab means yes, wisdom. Yeah. Shirab.
Okay.
Shirab. Then Nimpo. Nimpo is essence. Essence of wisdom.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So, and my question is about the generation state of the 7 mandala sadhana.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain us more a little about that? Because I have an idea, but I'm not sure. I'm going to tell you my idea. I find some sadhanas that you have to visualize 7 Jedam deities on your 7 chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Is that about it, or is different?
This 7 chakra in the most of this Nyingma tradition and new tradition. New tradition means this in the Vajrayana has old tradition and new tradition too. So this Mahamudara, Kajupa, Sachapa, their Vajrayana is related new tradition which comes from Telopa to the Vajradhara to Telopa to Naro and Marpa. So this one. And old tradition is related to Guru Rinpoche and then Nyingma, these treasure masters. So they all, especially this right now, Kaju lineage and also this 6 yoga of Naropa, most of the time we say 4 chakras. We mentioned 4 chakras. Actually, it comes 5 chakras. It's most of the time we don't count 7 chakras. But then this Vajrayana 7 offering, right? You say 7 offering.
7 mandala sadhana. You talk about on the
mandala.
generation stage class, but yeah, I don't know much about it. So I have an idea. If is that like really you have to visualize 7 Jedam deities?
Oh, I see.
Chakras. Is that the 7 mandala sadhana, or what is about it? Could you explain more a little bit?
I see. Yes. Yes, this Yidam deities palace are our chakras. So they are in our body. Anyhow, there are thousands of Yidam deities. All of they are in our body. So they are in our chakras. The chakras are, you are right, these chakras are from the crown chakra and then or the secret chakras. So they all on these chakras. Then chakra means usually the mandala of Yidam deities. So then they are in the relative truth, they remain from the different directions. Each chakra has 10 directions. So they remained in 10 directions. And in the essays, in the King of Aspiration, in the single particle or single atom or on single things, there are thousands of mandalas can be there, and these thousands of mandalas are full of Yidam deities. So this is we just recently joined our preliminary teaching. We discussed one lineage guru who saw who visited in the Gampo, which is a Gampo Pass center Gampo Pass monastery area in Tibet, and then he saw one Gampo Pass statue on there. Then thousands of Gampo Pass forms appear. So he saw them, same like that. The reason is all the emptiness. The reason is emptiness. Then everything's are appear from the emptiness. That's where it seems. Oh, how can be in our body has a small chakras? Then how can thousands of Yidam deities can be there? This question comes through our ordinary mind, but our practice, and then we can we found answer. Because this is emptiness, that's where Yidam deities can be there. So it's clear a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but I need to study more. It's amazing. all this. Thank you.
So
Shitru can be one of the 7 mandalas, sadhana.
say again.
Shitru, you know Shitru?
Shitro. Oh yeah, right.
It can be one of the 7 mandalas, or it's different.
In the Shito, right? Shito has or they are actually 100 deities. So these deities put from related at every chakras. So crown chakra, throat chakra. So yeah, that you are right. Actually, if we count, we go very deep. Then we have more than 7 chakras. Because chakra means wherever have the channels gathering together, that area have chakras. So we have thousands of chakras. We have thousands of channels. So they are not independently remain. They are remain through the interdependent. So that's where we have lots of chakras. So you are right. This Shuto Yadams in this case talk more chakras.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And I have another question about this. This is about the completion stage. You talk about 4 emptiness. Very empty, great emptiness, and complete emptiness, all emptiness, right? And then you said something increased, something appeared, and something dissolved. But I don't know exactly what you mean with that. Because of course it's emptiness, but what increased, for example? What is it that increased?
Yes, increase means in Tibetan called sarjezo. So that means first we the best example is we can recognize emptiness, but then continuously we meditate on there, and then our realization increase. And the dharma's increase means that our realization increase, and then this realization increased completely. So that means first we pay attention on the emptiness. We know some according to time. For example, when we meditate on the emptiness, and at that time we recognize emptiness. But after we dedicate, then our mind comes back in normal. So then that means just we kind of appear emptiness in our mind, but not increase yet. But then how to increase is in the day by day or day to day. We continuously meditate on there, and then there are different experiences. First is we make a session, for example, only morning 5 to 7 I meditate on emptiness. So then we meditate emptiness 5 to 7. At that time we realize emptiness. But then after breakfast or something, we don't meditate on emptiness. Whole day we don't. But then months later, for example, then 7 to 10 or 7 to 5 to 10 or 5 to 12 or something, and then slowly we be mindful on emptiness. Whether we are working or sitting, eating, anytime we be mindful on emptiness. So that means our realization of emptiness increase. So that's where then these illusory things cannot affect us. Less effect, suffering, less effect. And then we have less worry, less anxiety, because we recognize they are emptiness. And then completely means then your, even though in your dream you are dream, you get a dream and you recognize that is emptiness. And in the daytime you wake up, you don't think, oh, I wake up, or I'm going to do this or that. You don't think. Suddenly you remember emptiness. You can still drink tea, and you can drink a healthy tea or healthy food, but you recognize they are emptiness. So 24/7 you recognize emptiness. Kind of this is then completely increase your realization.
Great. Thank you, Khenpo. And what about dissolve?
Soul, right?
Dissolve. Something dissolve, you said.
Dissolve.
Like the winds, you mean winds, like when the winds dissolve?
Oh, yes. There is something a little bit means not how to say, something have to particularly their way to introduce the how to dissolve, where dissolve, and something have, but grossly when dissolve means it depending. For example, about wind dissolve means right now through our channels, particularly the path of our ears and eyes, nose, our winds go, our consciousness go through this way, and then, oh, this is a good taste, this is not good smell, or this is a good color, this is not good touching or feeling something. We have a dualistic thinking. But then this some particular wind, they are dissolved inside of the center channel. There are some locations it dissolved, and then this dualistic thinking or spontaneously stop to function, stop to arise, these dualistic thinkings. So dualistic thinking, even our higher practitioners, still we have a dualistic thinking. For example, Yadam deities appear, we think, oh, they are Yadam deity. But then still, I am not Yadam deity, something like that. This is like a dualistic thinking. It is higher realization. Whoever appears Yadam deities, that's such a wonderful practice, result of practice. But still, if there are some oh, this is Yadam deity and I'm not Yadam deity, something like that, the separation thinking, perception, then still we have a dualistic. So some wind dissolve in the channels. Dissolve means there are different ways. Some wind normally some wind will not function through some channels. And then through the practice, at that moment, this wind goes in this channel. At that moment, you recognize non-duality, the power of this. Actually, His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche often said, we can recognize Mahamudara when in the different ways. If we don't have dualistic thinking, this is when we have just right before wake up, we have Mahamudara realization. At that time, we have no thoughts. That means we have no thoughts. And just right before, even maybe hard to measure by the times, right before sleeping, we have realization of Mahamudara. And then when we die, for example, the sleeping, right before sleeping, slightly or momentarily we arise Mahamudara realization. I said Mahamudra realization. Actually, this is kind of a non-duality. It's same, right? But then after we sleep, then we have many illusory things occur. And after we wake up, then we have many perceptions occur. And then another thing is when we will die, this is also like a sleeping. First, there are many layers. So the outer, inner, and many dissolves, element dissolves. So at that time there are many states. Anyhow, at that moment, momentarily we arise kind of non-duality realization. But they are proof the naturally non-duality. But then our mind combined with perceptions, dualistic thinking. So dissolve, but you understand the meaning of dissolve, right?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Yes. So
yes. Yeah, continue. Thank you.
You go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say if the nature state of mind, you said, right?
Nature.
It's Ripa and Mahamudra, same.
Oh.
Ripa, Mahamudra, and nature state is Mahamudra and Ripa. Right?
Yes, actually they are same. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Now you can continue. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You may continue your questions. For your question. Oh, sorry. Yes. So the wind, that wind dissolve in your mind at that moment. Your grossly these perceptions disappear. So your grossly perceptions completely disappear. So that means this mind, this wind, how to say? Okay, this wind first the wind enter that channel. At that time you have it's a good experience. There's one experience, and then that wind remain there. At that time you have one experience, and then this wind, but still you have a fixation, you have identify. That means you have a subtle dualistic thinking. So this wind dissolve into this channel means this wind become subtle wind, subtle channel, subtle drops or bindu. They are non-duality naturally. So that's where this wind become dissolve. This wind dissolve in that channel. At that time you have no subtle dualistic perception. Your subtle dualistic perception disappear. That means this.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So
Tashida, thank you.
Thank you. So welcome. Oh yes, Eleanor. I can't hear. Yes.
If we all have Buddha nature, we don't recognize it, but we all have it. So how are we relating to each other? Because if we don't recognize the Buddha nature and we're involved in the dualistic thinking and we've got this collection of multitudes that make up myself to me and this person's multitudes make up themselves to them, what's relating this way? I mean, if the Dharmakaya, is coming through us, how am I relating to anybody else? I mean, I'm not relating Dharmakaya to Dharmakaya. I'm relating
Yes.
Person to person, but that's not Dharmakaya nature. That's this samsaric nature.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we relate to? How does the Dharmakaya work to each other?
Mm-hmm.
Am I making sense here?
Yes. Thank
How
you.
does that work?
Yes, this is actually, if I have one bowl, one cup here, empty cup, there is also another empty cup. If I break or brought this cup, and I broke this cup, in this cup has space, and this cup has space. When we have cups, then there are different spaces, right? Then if we open or break these cups, then this space become
all one.
Yeah, we say in the relative truth all one, but actually one is, or they're beyond of one or different. So now I hold my hand like this. Inside has space. In my hand has space, right? Space. I open this my hand. Where's this space? I do this at that moment. This space and the outside of my hand, the space is different because I made it. If I do this, then
I see.
they all become non-dual. It's similar like that. So
thank you.
So welcome. In the relative truth, we have a different thing because you and I, and then we have, I am male, you think you are female. So then we have this thinking makes different things in the relative truth. But when I arise bodhicitta, you arise bodhicitta, your mind and my mind spontaneously getting close. That means bodhicitta help us to realize your mind and my mind are no different. So that's why it's spontaneously close. That's where, actually in the in the relative truth, that everything different, same or different, yes or no, everything in the relative truth, related in relative truth, and ultimate truth, everything's are same.
Okay, so okay, all right, that helps. Thank you.
So welcome. Thank you. Yes, Misha.
Yes. Is this going to be our last question and answers for the Path to Awakening series?
Is it? Oh, yes. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Yes.
So thank you. So will there be other courses or other scheduled question and answer periods so we can ask more questions to you?
Thank you so much. Yes, it's well. I quite not sure exactly, but for sure in the future will be possible. But this is I cannot decide by myself now. So, but thank you very much, and we are more positive. It's positive. Very possible, right? Very, very possible. Almost I say yes. A little bit. There, 1 second. We just have workout schedule. But thank you so much.
Excellent, thank you. I'm finding these very valuable, both for me to ask questions and then to hear other people's questions and your responses. It's helping me learn the the Dharma better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Still we have 5 minutes, so over time is possible more than 5 minutes, or is it? It is exactly. Yes, 5 more minutes. If not, if I try to answer something, but if some not clear, you are repeat. Okay, it's important. If not clear part, for sure there's some answers not clear.
Well, I guess I think I have, maybe it's quick, I don't know, to follow up. My biggest impediment to taking the Bodhisattva vow is the issue with reincarnation. I still have difficulty of making a commitment to something I'm not sure I believe in, or it seems so big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to move past that or through that.
Mm-hmm. You know, yesterday Misha and today Misha have a relation. Today's Misha is reincarnation of yesterday's Misha. Really? This year's Misha is reincarnation of last year's Misha. So this is obviously or grossly how is relation their reincarnation. But right now our mind is guest. Our body is a guest house. So if we we rent a very nice guest house. It's expensive because there are very great facilities, because our channel are unique. Our winds are unique, and then our energies which our parents give us are also pretty means this it's related to our parents, which are also unique. That's why in this case this guest very enjoy, but this guest should be smart. How to be smart is this guest need to find some golden opportunity, which means next these guests have to think next guest house. If you are going to rent a very higher guest house, then you need money. Similarly, next, if your conscious need to rent another form, nice one, then now your merit is very important. That's where you are practicing, right? And then when you rent another house in next life, it's very possible you can rent the form of the some Rinpoches, or gurus form, really. And so this is related in present action. That means our practice through body, speech, and mind. So of course this body will not go to next life. This body and mind one day they are separate. They will separate. So at that time still this mind is just going to the different places. It's the same like right now you are in your home, but your mind is here. So similarly, your body is there, your mind is here. Similarly, your mind is here, so then here your mind connected with us, so you have different feelings. Sometimes you have very good feelings, and sometimes you have nice feeling, nice feeling, good feeling, and sometimes you have a supreme feeling, very excellent feeling. So these are same like that. So in the next life, still your mind will go continuously. Perhaps your mind go to the Buddha stage, in Dharmakaya stage. Perhaps your mind will go Bodhisattva stage. Perhaps your mind go on the into the form of a guru. Then you can benefit all mother sentient beings. So it's a very good question, and you more emphasize this present the consciousness, how related yesterday and today and before 1 hour and now. So they have relation or not. If you have, and then in the daytime and the night still you have dreams, they have relations. So next conscious reincarnation and right now your practice have very special relation.
Thank you, Khenpo.
So welcome. Okay, thank you so very much, all of you, and I'm so happy to see your wonderful Dharma face, and it's really it benefit to each others, and your questions remain in the website, and it will benefit a lot. So we confidently can rejoice each others. And until now, you asked me questions. These questions are really wonderful, and I really happy with these questions. And I wish in the future you will get getting golden opportunity to Dharma discourse, and then deeply, honestly, from my side, it's very, very possible I cannot answer to your questions, or sometimes I did not answer exactly to your question, and sometimes my answers do not make sense or something, whatever happened. So I deeply confess, and in front of you, and in front of Guru, and in front of Yidam deities and all the Buddhas. So let us recite 100 syllable mantra one time together. Om Bazaza do Zamaya Manu Balaya Bazaza do Denoba Tejandra Dro Membawa Sudagayo Membawa Subagayo Membawa Anora do Membawa Sarvazada Membayan Zazawa Garma Sazame Sadan Shirayan Guru Ho Bangawe Sarvada Danga Damba Zamame Zamba Zambawa Ma Samaya Sadoa Chancho Sencho Remboche Maji Banan Ji Jorje Je Ba Nyambar Mi Bar Yang QnA
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Dharma practice. Enjoy in Sagadawa. May you long life and happy life. And see you. See you. See you. See you.
Thank you, Khenpo Tenzin.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Billy.
Such
Thank
an
you.
honor and a privilege.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Long life to you. Happy life. Happy Sagadawa. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Many tashidele to everybody.
Yes,
Tashidele.
Tashidele.
Looking forward to next time we can
Yeah.
meet questions.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Hard to imagine we only have one more.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye. Take care. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.
See you next time. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.